everybody. Sorry, it's still good morning. We're half an hour early, but here we are sitting with Ritu.
Hi.
Hi, Ritu. And we are going to be talking to you for the next 1 hour about Ritu and jams. So you'll ask me what is jams, and a lot of people have been shooting this question to me that what is jams exactly? So it stands for Journey About Must Moms. So it's a lovely mommies group which is live in Mumbai, and a lot. Do you have people from other cities as well?
Not at the moment.
Okay, so it's a Mumbai-based project, which is absolutely wonderful support group. So right from would-be mommies to mommies who are like around my
26.
mother's age.
Yeah.
Yeah. So beyond 60 plus, there are women of all ages. And they are a very close-knit support group. So, the kind of privacy and the kind of support which these women offer each other is just wonderful. So, let's speak to Ritu and let's find out how did Jams actually start about, or where did it come from? How did she conceive that idea? It is much like a baby being born, isn't it?
True, true.
So, Ritu, over to you. Guide us onto the journey of Jams.
Lovely. Thank you to have me on board. I'd love to share my journey today. So, in essential, so I've always been a Mumbaiker. I've stayed here for 24 years. I used to dance and I used to teach how to dance. And when I got married, I relocated to Delhi. So I was there for about 8 years. Exactly 2 years back, when I moved back to Bombay, I stayed in Bhandup West in Bombay. So I kind of was feeling a little left out of being connected to all my friends and some of the mothers. My daughter's 5 now. At that point in time, obviously she was 3. So I just needed to reconnect with some of the like-minded mothers. So I started a small WhatsApp group of around 25 mothers, and we were around 70 moms in a Facebook group. But then all these people knew me, so I was like the common factor with all of them. And these mothers were primarily my ex-colleague or my bhabhi or my cousin, that kind of a thing. Most of them knew each other, but there were some who didn't know all of them. Right from the beginning, I was very, very clear that there will not be any good morning, good night, forwards, jokes, and any nonsense information or any kind of promotion also for that matter. So it was strictly very, very mommy talk, to be honest. Everybody really liked the concept, and what they started doing is they started adding in more mothers. But then I had never envisioned what Jams is today. So we've got around over 3,000 mothers connected on WhatsApp in various groups. So it's pretty structured now. So all the mothers, for example, if you're a pregnant mom, you would also be in a group with all the pregnant mothers. If you are a grandmother, so my senior most grand Jamie is 86 years old and she's on WhatsApp on a smartphone.
Wow!
So various other groups like infants, toddlers, kids, teenagers. So we've got all the age brackets, even youngsters. So we've got them all connected on WhatsApp, and we've got around 7,600 plus mothers in a secret Facebook group. So we are very non-aggressive, and we only want the quality like-minded mothers to come in, and this has purely been out of word of mouth. Well, of course, while we are connected online, our biggest USP is actually to meet offline. We've hosted over 60 workshops where the whole goal is built for informed parenting. We've hosted workshops starting from makeup, grooming, cooking, prevention of child sexual abuse, how to belly dance. We've had fun workshops. We've had very educative kind of workshops. And we've also met, for like casual coffee meets, lunch meets, and it's just been a lot of fun. We've got featured, pretty much everywhere in media, and our what we're most popular for are our social initiatives. So when we completed 365 days, we gave away 365 haircuts to underprivileged children at 2 observation homes. That was called the Happy New Hair initiative. We completed 550 days, so we gave away 550 things to visually impaired people, and it was absolutely fantastic. Our most popular was the Must Santa campaign, where all the mothers actually got their old handbags that they were absolutely not using and put in a lot of edible stuff, snacks, goodies, and gave it to the first homeless woman that they found on the street. So that was really popular.
Okay.
We in fact have a very big social initiative coming up now. So we complete 730 days, and we're actually giving away 730 pieces of footwear to children in a village near Pune.
So 750 pieces of footwear.
730 pairs of or pieces of footwear, yes.
Wow.
And these children, unfortunately, are obviously not well to do. They don't even have a basic pair to walk across, and they walk almost like 2 to 3 kilometers on a daily basis. During summer, it gets that bad that they actually take the water, the water of bottle, and they sprinkle the water on their feet just to get away, with the heat. Yes, yes. So yeah, that's our next social campaign is called Step Up, and we roll it from Monday onwards. In fact, I'm formally announcing it on Storyfied right now.
Wow. So here, Ritu's formally announced that they're going to be helping 730 underprivileged children. So, this is just wonderful to see like a Facebook group actually getting out there and doing this. So tell us a little bit more on how Jams connects people and what has been your experience with social media, because Jams is completely social media oriented, isn't it? It started
Absolutely.
from WhatsApp and it's gone on to Facebook. So I'm sure it's out there on Twitter, it's out on Instagram. So how have you experienced social media to your benefit? Because many a times these days we hear kids getting or misusing social
True.
media,
True.
or parents being wary of letting being on social media and letting their kids be on social media. So do you have any such experiences with Jam's mothers or people you've seen that they've benefited from social media also?
Well, I could go on and on this topic. To be honest, so how we have what we've done is, like I said, we started on WhatsApp, and then we moved on to Facebook as well. So while we're connected online, we meet offline. So while we're connected on WhatsApp, for example, we follow a very no-nonsense approach, which means that the timings are very structured. Our interaction timings right now are between 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. We request the mothers that you please keep the group on mute mode, so that in case if you're at work or whether you're with children, you're not your phone's not constantly pinging. Because while we may be connected online, what I categorically promote is to spend time offline. So even when we have a weekly theme days, my most popular theme day is Silent Sunday. So there is absolutely no
quiet.
interaction. Yes, it's absolutely quiet. Even if there is an interaction, it's only because it's an emergency. How we have helped people, because it's a support group. This is what typically happens in a mommy's support group. So if you need a reference of a doctor, if you need reference of where your child should be going for the next activity class, if there is somebody in your family or your friend circle who's at the hospital and needs blood donation. So for example, very recently somebody needed blood for a family member. It was very rare. They struggled for quite a number of hours locating that particular blood group, but the minute it was shared, within 10 minutes they had a donor, and the person had reached. So this is the beauty of social media. So particularly with Jams, I follow a very no-nonsense approach. So there is no, like I said, no good morning, good night, forwards, jokes, because we're part of so many groups now. So
Yeah.
somewhere it just needs to be unique. And we get bombarded with these messages, considering the app is free right now. So where we get very popular, why we are unique, and we also get nominated for awards, not just national but international, is primarily because we are engaging in digital empowerment for mothers, for women, but it has a very no-nonsense approach. So
Okay.
that's what kind of stands us out.
Okay. So the no nonsense approach, it must be very difficult to be like a classroom monitor for it, right? Where you have to keep, sometimes there's always that one child in a class
All the
who
time.
doesn't want to listen and who just wants to, still do what they're doing. So how is it difficult to handle? Because I come from an industry where I had never interacted with women before starting Storyfied. So, for me, sometimes it's very annoying that why don't they understand you're not supposed to do this? And women are such delicate people that you have to nurture them so well. So how do you manage that, Ritu?
So I now claim to have done like a double PhD in women and WhatsApp management. Yes, we are emotional. Yes, we are sensitive. Yes, we are from Venus. We don't understand it at one go. We need to be said the same thing again, and if still not, understood, we need to say it in a different way. So yes, I've also had very nasty incidents of moms still promoting while we share the etiquette of how group networking really works in advance. They said, oh, we didn't read it. But it doesn't really work that way. So yes, I've had a fair bit of incidents. Fortunately or unfortunately, I have a perception where they think that Ritu, has a stick in her hand 24/7. So they just kind of know not to mess with. And this is a very unique social support group that is there to help them. It's not that we are making money or it's a business. It's just something that happened by chance. It was a small group of 25 mothers. It just started growing slowly and steadily. I'm also a homemaker now, so this is not something that I've gained an MBA or did any formal education, but it's been fun. Having said that, it's been a great journey of ups and downs both. So if you can handle it, great. You're welcome to be part of the group. But if you can't follow the etiquette, I don't like to call them as rules because rules are meant for children. If you can't follow it, if it doesn't suit you, it's okay. I no hard feelings.
No hard feelings. Yeah, because it's always like you can't please everybody and you can't be on everybody's side. So you have to kind of draw a line somewhere, isn't it?
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, the mothers are the ones benefiting. It's not that they're paying any registration fees or membership fees to be part of it. They're just getting useful information on a daily basis, especially on theme days, for example. So my theme days are like Makeup Shake Up Monday, Tadka Tuesday, Wet Sex Day Wisdom, Guruvar Gyan, Full On Friday, Sexy Saturday, and a Silent Sunday. So what do? In all these theme days, we share informative stuff. So for example, every Monday, which is the Makeup Shake Up Monday, we actually share tips. It could be an e-link, it could be a video, it could be like a creative that we are sharing on makeup, health, fitness, and wellness. Tadka Tuesday is obviously the most popular section because we share like a cooking recipe or a tip or something which is related about food, kitchen, etiquette. It could be anything. Wet Sex Day Wisdom is again very unique. We actually have a sex counselor on board right from day one, who gives them information about it could be prevention of child sexual abuse or just a little more on couples, sexual health, etc. So that's also very popular. It's just that women are not very
they don't want to be very vocal
upfront about it. So they're happy to read, but not so much to discuss. But that's okay. At the end of the day, we are staying in India, so we are still very conservative and orthodox and don't really open up about it. Yeah. So it's been fun, and Guruvar Gyan is again one of our interesting theme days where we actually share like a motivational tip. So that's something a lot of mompreneurs in my group really look up to, because unfortunately it's become so complex with the coming of modern technology. It's supposed to make our lives easier, but it's actually the other way around. I mean, women, for example, unfortunately now have this Durga Ma, I fondly call it the Durga Ma image that we portray. So we are not just expected to look after the house, but also expected to be master chefs in the kitchen, have bodies like the next Miss India. And supposed to take care of the family, the in-laws, the husband, cook at home, look after the social life and children. So it's getting a little too much, to be honest. And while I'm not saying that women should not work or have their own self-identity, but instinctively the mothers are
they always
caretakers of the nest, while the fathers or the man of the house are traditionally supposed to be hunters. But yes, having said that, we're staying in urban cities now, and there is a lot of nuclear family setup which has become very popular, and both the parties, which is the mother and the father, have to work. But I would never recommend something like that at the cost of work-life balance and at the cost of good and informed parenting. That's something I would not really recommend. So even for example me, I had consciously decided to give the first 5 years of my life away from my corporate role to Zara, and I'm extremely proud of doing that because it's been such a wonderful journey. This time is never going to come back. Either way, another couple of years, my daughter would just want to hang out, with her friends, and oh no, mama, she's going to back out. So,
Yeah.
so I have truly enjoyed every part of this motherhood journey, and then I have almost 10,000 more mothers who are part of this journey. So it's been phenomenal. But having said that, we are on social media and we are using it productively. I mean, that's what the thing is.
So recently, there have been many events which I have been invited to as
Yes.
well. So tell us, how do you help promote these mothers with mompreneurs and stuff? So how does JAMS support the mothers? And if some mother does come and join JAMS on board, so I know she's not going to pay any registration fee or something, but is there any kind of an ongoing cost which they have to bear, or how do they benefit from JAMS?
So, for example, I have a mompreneur who deals in jewelry. I'm just giving a random example. And, she's obviously looking at a platform to raise awareness about her products and services. So, these are the options. The JAMS secret Facebook group has around, 7,500 plus mothers connected online. So, she could perhaps, self-promote herself once a week, anytime, during those 7 days. And her ad posts get approved and published on Sunday. So that's a free of cost, self-promotion platform that I'm giving you. Another way that that mompreneur, what she could do is sponsor one of her referral contests. So, for example, if the mothers from the network, refer or add 2 new mothers in the WhatsApp group or in the Facebook group, one lucky mother would win like a gift or like a piece of jewelry from this particular mompreneur. So it works as a great platform to
Showcase your
raise awareness. Also, the beauty about JAMS, like I said earlier, our USP is to meet during our offline interventions. So what happens is, before we start any particular workshop, I ensure that there is an introduction round by the mothers. So each of them gets like a minute or something. So they talk about their name, about the children, where they work, what they do, and get to exchange cards at the end of the session. So it almost works like a great networking session. Just I hosted a workshop just 2 days before at a celebrity home chef's cooking studio at Saki Vihar, and there was this one particular mother who had attended our intervention for the first time. She said, I met somebody who did whom I subscribed my child's monthly worksheets. I met a neighbor whom I never knew, stayed in the next building. So I met up, with her. I enjoyed some, great wine. I enjoyed a great book reading session. I, got to meet a celebrity food writer. She also met a designer who was part of that workshop, and she decided that, this is the designer I want to kind of, get my stuff from. So in one meet, she generated 6 contacts. Yeah, she generated 6 contacts. So the mompreneurs also who are providing that particular service benefit.
Yeah.
And I can, honestly, I can just go on and on with these stories as to, how these mothers have, networked and, benefited. Primarily the mompreneurs who take these workshops, because although they may take a, like a free of cost or complimentary workshop, but it works as a great way of eventually them becoming conversions, because these workshops are, obviously not, in detail. For example, I had attended one social media workshop recently by a wonderful trainer, and I had requested her to host, one workshop for the JAMS mothers. We have landed up hosting more than 15 workshops in the last 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Although they are, paid workshops, because this is like an external trainer, but they've benefited immensely, because now they're not dependent on others. They're just doing everything on their own. So whether it's their social media promotions, whether it's networking online with the other support groups, it's been a great win-win.
Okay. So we have a question for you already
Lovely.
from Latika, where
Okay.
she's asking that tell us one inspirational applied secret for your success.
Patience. Just a lot of patience, Latika. It's like I said, it's never easy dealing with with women, because of their so many emotional mood swings that they go. Also, my whole focus has always been on informed parenting, and this is an out and out social initiative. So a lot of patience dealing with women. Yeah.
I have to learn some as well, you know. I have to learn to be patient with everybody that I deal with right now. Also, I always wondered that, you know, how is Jams kind of funded, or is it self-sustained, or you put in a lot of money behind it? How does it work with the...
Well, time is money, to be honest. Akanksha, last 2 years, it's been an out-and-out social initiative. So I actually have a team. I have 13 volunteers on board, which are working, outside home mothers, and they've selflessly contributed in running the initiative. So I have one mommy who's in charge of one or two WhatsApp groups in the network, and well, till a month back, yes, it was out and out social initiative, but with the amount of time, effort, hard work that really goes, we've just got into a little bit of a self-sustaining model, but that's primarily to fund our social causes. Even if it means printing visiting cards, or taking care of a little like a gift for the trainer who's doing a complimentary workshop. That's about it. Jams would not be my bread and butter, or even for the other mothers who are part of the who are part of the team. It will always be a social initiative, and that's what is unique about us, because there's just so many groups that have shamelessly copied our themes, our networking platforms, and are making lots and lots of money out of it. Let them. They land up aping a lot of our ideas, and our offline interventions, actually pretty much like everything. And they're also part of my network. I'm someone who's not insecure. I'm jealous. Let them be, as long as someone's benefiting.
Yeah.
Just
So even
let it
if
be.
it's spreading its tentacles and 100 other mothers are getting benefited,
Yeah.
then yeah, obviously why not? It's always like which is going out that they know somewhere down the
True.
line that hey, this has come from there.
Yeah.
So it's always good, isn't
See,
it?
it's a great idea. Like I said, I never envisioned Jams to be what it is
Yeah.
today. Now that we've completed 2 years. Having said that, I fondly remember one of my group leaders saying that nakal karne ke liye bhi akkal chahiye. So they may do it, but how long?
Yes.
Because the idea generation and all the brainstorming and the networking is happening here in a very no nonsense approach. So that's
Yeah.
what makes Jams stand out. Also, I've always been focused never on numbers or quantities, but it's always been quality, like-minded mothers who understand the concept, who want to follow the the etiquette of group networking, and are there to help each other, not just be visitors. That doesn't make sense.
So say if would-be mother joins a group, so what kind of support can she expect? Can she, if she does ask questions, do they get answered by some sort of a doctor very quickly, or a fellow mother from her experience? So what kind of support does the WhatsApp group provide to a would-be mother? Because let's start from that stage where you're just joining into the network, you're probably in your 7th, 8th, 9th, whatever month,
Right.
and you're kind of anxious, either it's a first time or a second time. So I can just envision what kind of questions I would have.
Yeah.
But there would be a lot of questions in a person's mind. So how does the support system work? So what happens? Because I haven't seen the WhatsApp group yet.
Yeah. I can't wait for you to be a mother now. So, for example, if there's a mom who's on the family way and is pregnant, she obviously also joins the group where there are other mothers who are expecting. What also works really, really well is apart from the regular WhatsApp groups, I also have separate WhatsApp groups dedicated to professionals. So, for example, there is a separate WhatsApp group dedicated just to the mompreneurs who engage in kids product services. I have a separate group for lawyers, for food mompreneurs, for single mothers, for mothers that have special children. So likewise, I also have a separate WhatsApp group dedicated to doctors. Now we have a couple of gynacs on board. So if they need any information where medical intervention is required, I promptly request them to speak to the gynac. Either way, all these mums are so well informed these days. Thanks to so many of these baby portals. There are a lot of myths and misconceptions also, let me tell you, because they just blindly follow whatever's written in Google or in these baby portals. So we get those online expert help. So for example, in the WhatsApp groups, I have these dedicated. I have two online experts every single month. So I just get them added in the WhatsApp group. And if there are any queries that need to be asked, so we, for example, we've had like a image consultant. We've had someone who spoke about makeup. We had someone. We had a dermat whom we had got online. We had a gynac whom we had got online. We had a mother who spoke about clot diapering. We had a mother who spoke about baby wearing. So there are all these online experts, where they can, just randomly ask questions for those, 2 hours and get their answers from the expert.
Okay.
Otherwise, I always encourage them, please meet them offline, call them up, speak to them on the phone, and then seek help, because a lot of things can't be dealt with, or don't have answers when you're asking them just a random question on WhatsApp. So I tell them, great that you're connected online, but please meet offline and ask them offline as well. Yeah.
So I know we've got 40 people watching us live right now. So guys, keep shooting your questions. We're going to be here for another half an hour. So, keep the questions coming. We'd love to, I'm sure Ritu hasn't had so many questions thrown at her at one place in an hour. So let's hound her with the questions and find out. So otherwise, Ritu, what has been, we put the title as social media blessing or a curse. So how do you think it has been a blessing for you, or do you know of instances where it has also acted as a curse? Have you heard horror stories from moms, where they have experienced bad things on social media, and how has Jams ever supported these mothers to come out of those horrific incidents, or what has been your experience with social media being a blessing or a curse?
Well, for us, social media has been a complete blessing. While I can, go on and on with the list of, the mothers who benefited being part of Jams and our social media network, I must honestly admit there was a personal crisis that I went through recently, where my elder brother, couldn't handle stress, and he just walked out of the house, leaving a note, and. I actually found him because of Jams. I found him because of social media. So it was a big blessing. How he was found is because I have a mother who's actually a belly dance, a fantastic belly dance trainer, and has done complimentary, workshops for us. She, obviously read about my brother being, have gone missing. So she shared it on her social media and a couple of other groups. And my brother was around 100 kilometers outside Bombay, and he was sitting, at a place, and this particular lady, who actually happens to be an animal doctor, spotted him there, and she was like, looks like I've seen this gentleman somewhere. So she promptly logged on to this belly dance trainer, whose name is Chetali, and she logged on to her social media and cross-checked, and then she went up to him and asked him that, so what's your name? We've never seen you here. And he revealed that his name is Vikram, and that's how he was found. So the lady promptly alerted the nearest police station, and my brother was found on the 6th day thanks to social media, and primarily Facebook. In fact, I also messaged the Facebook team about it, and they couldn't be happier.
Yeah.
So
you see, guys, how when we say that social media is an evil, I have tears listening to the story and still goosebumps. And despite having heard it before, hearing it now still makes me feel that, hey, we are on social media and we are doing something good. So it is up to us how we use it. So, we need to make sure that we use it right so that it can benefit us and everybody else as well. So the thing is, how else have you heard any horror stories though? Have any horror stories been part of Jams or whatever? Has anything gone wrong? Because we always talk about the good things.
Right.
So have you heard any bad things as well?
Honestly, not. It's just that I know a lot of mothers keep complaining about the teenagers spending a lot of time. So what I did probably is I organized a cybercrime awareness workshop, and that's the time when we had actually spoken about the ill effects, but not that it is come to my knowledge that social media has been a curse for somebody. Yes, having said that, a lot of children, including mothers, are land up spending a lot of time online. there lands up being a lot of miscommunication, because you're obviously not checking the tone of the voice or the body language of the
Yeah.
person who's talking to you, and they may be saying something but the other person has understood in a different manner. But that's just basic miscommunication. I don't think it's been a curse as such, or at least I don't know of any experience
Okay.
like that. But having said that, the eventual curse would be that people end up spending more time online. So if you walk into a restaurant, or if you're at a party, I'm unfortunately noticing that people are not talking to each other offline, but are on their phones. And
Yeah.
I won't be surprised if everybody's posture eventually becomes like that versus
You see
talking to
me
each
right
other.
now as well. I'm trying to read all these.
This is going to, because the video is so big, right? So
It saves on the phone.
I hate it when you tell people not to call. It's like, no, I have a meeting after this, and I told him that I'll call him after I finish my meeting. It will take time to save the video. So, oh god.
So sorry guys, we had a little technical glitch, one of those things which you can't avoid, and it was just one of we wanted to make sure that we got back to you and we finished the rest of the meeting. But going back to the question, we'll take the question again, and we have another question, Ritu, for you. So Priyanka is asking that on social media you have hundreds of people approaching one person generally, so for help or maybe to put on a link that helps others. So how do you think one can make an impact when they're that one person, trying to reach out to those hundreds of people? So if, like the way you said that your brother went missing and then you posted it on Jams and Jams helped you a lot. So how do you think somebody else can recreate it and do the same thing? So how can they make that impact?
So it's obviously about how no nonsense and practical you are. I'm a person who's perceived that would always share truth, share facts, and be extremely practical in my approach. So, and it's not just like a perception or a brand image that has been. That's my self personality also. So while I was leading this whole drive about going missing, I was up to date about every single fact. I was not just talking about him being missing, but every fact that was either coming from the police or from the private detective, or I'd also landed up speaking to a lot of psychics and face reader. I would promptly update that on social media, because I was getting bombarded with so many calls. So I used social media to my rescue. Having said that, especially when we do our expert online chats also, I always recommend that particular professional, that whenever they're giving out information, to be extremely practical. We're not endorsing any other brand. So for example, if there is a doctor, a dermat coming on board, I don't recommend her to share like brand names, or give them any kind of exclusivity. It's more like a general consultation that is done. But and skin issues, for example, a dermat, it'll be very difficult if they're just asking a question and
Yeah.
getting an answer. You eventually have to meet, show them what the current status of your skin is, and accordingly take it up. She can perhaps give like a very generalized feedback, but not more than that. So you really need to kind of connect or communicate with that person offline, or in being physical. And with me personally, because everybody really looks up to what I say, what I do, or what I talk about, I also have to be very, very, very quality conscious. So and be extremely careful in my words, in my actions, in what I speak. So it's a lot of pressure, and it's a lot of stress, because there are like thousands of mothers who are looking up to you, and none of us are perfect, right? I mean, there are times even I kind of tear my hair apart, dealing with my child, and even I lose it. but it's always about being more responsive versus being reactive. I also learned it the hard way thanks to Jam. So even I have grown myself in this entire process about my handling skills, about my being patient, my being being tolerant. uh, it's been a great mind game. Yeah.
Okay. So, how do you think you have benefited because of jams? Has it kind of helped you take care of your daughter a little better, or got you in touch with a few different mothers who've experienced? So, like you were saying, there are single moms. So, I'm sure they have so much pressure. I'm single mother is not something which is very much known in India.
Yeah.
I, having grown up in the UK, I had a very many friends who were raised by a single parent, either a single mom, a single dad, or whatever.
True.
So the kind of pressure that women face,
Hmm.
not just inside the house with a young child, but also outside, the social pressure. So does Jams kind of offer counseling to such moms, so they have a night out with such moms where they can relax and unwind and kind of have a life otherwise as well.
So single mothers unfortunately feel very left out. So for example, I have this one single parent who doesn't land up being involved in a lot of activities with her friends and children, because always the father is accompanying, and because she doesn't have a husband anymore, she doesn't land up being part of the group. So yes, we do have counselors. I've got hypnotherapists on board. I have these two groups which is called Mania and Butterflies. What they do is they meet offline on a monthly basis. So one mother hosts that whole gathering of another 6 mothers, and they just have a good time. I have no control over what they do or where they go or where they eat or what they plan, but they just having a great time, and it's wonderful. Single mothers specifically. In fact, I'm going to have a separate family lawyer coming on board, just to offer them some complimentary counseling. It is difficult, it is a challenge, but fortunately, this group is quite bonded. In fact, we were part of the Pinkathon, which is an initiative run by Milind Soman, and their team was extremely generous in offering us complimentary registrations. So we actually ran the Pinkathon, and it was
Wow.
amazing. It was amazing. That sense of high that you get, because they land up being a little demotivated and lack of confidence. In fact, they're not even called single mothers in jams. They're called the ready to mingle group of mothers in jams. So yes, I do kind of help them out in every possible way, whether they need a doctor's recommendation or a family lawyer's recommendation, or even a counselor's intervention for that matter. Another very popular group that we've started is of the group where there are mothers who have special children. So we are in the process of organizing like an art and craft workshop. How to engage these children productively, because they don't have a lot of acceptance in India, and there are very limited platforms of of professional help for these special children. So
Yeah.
this particular group is very very interactive, in recommending what are the app places to be there. Unfortunately, in India, the special children platform doesn't have a lot of awareness. There aren't a lot of support groups out there to help each other. So Jams is just doing its bit in its own little way. In fact, our book club, movie club, and pets club are also extremely successful and very very interactive. So only information related with books. Only books are being talked about, whether it's parenting books, whether it's books for children, whether it's books for mothers that happen. A movie club is good, so moms just kind of meet offline to watch movies. We've had so many pet adoptions that have happened via the pets club, so it's been great. How have I benefited commercially? No, or my team, because they obviously volunteer for the selfless initiative.
Yeah.
But where it has helped me personally is generating a lot of informed parenting, ensuring that I also land up leading or facilitating the process of mature and informed parenting. and just building, my own contacts on my own network. So, for example, if I need, if I have a birthday, which happened recently, it was my daughter's birthday, and we planned like a, last minute engagement for her, friends in the building. Uh, 3 phone calls, and I had the entire party, happening within 2 hours at my home. So I got a home baker who delivered me cake. I had a mompreneur who sent me, a tattoo artist. I had somebody, who did the catering and provided snacks. So everything was done, and so everybody's on my speed dial. So to
Wow,
say.
that's like
all coming to
wonderful.
my rescue.
So I have Ritu on speed dial, so that I am sure that pretty much connects me to thousands others. So we have had somebody ask for the WhatsApp number, so we'll get it back to you personally rather than put it out on social media, because you never know where it gets shared. So we'll send it out to you personally, Nupur, and then you can get connected to Ritu and join Jams that way. Or you can also join the Facebook group
Yes.
and get started from there.
So we've just started a Facebook page of Jams Network. We've just recently got onto Instagram and Twitter to just expand our social media. Although a lot of mothers are not there on Instagram and Twitter, unfortunately. We are still, very Facebook, and most of them are on WhatsApp. But feel free to write to me. My email address is jamsnetwork@gmail.com. We also have a website, so you can, if there are mothers who are connected online and are watching us and wish to be part of the Bombay, Navi Mumbai, and Thane based Jams WhatsApp group, you can just, share your details on our website, and we'll get you added immediately as per your child's age.
Okay. So, as we're coming towards the end of it, Ritu, we have around 15 minutes to go. So, is there anything which you think that we should be talking about more, like which we haven't spoken about yet? Another little secret out of your big potly which you can tell us about Jams, or how social media has helped you, or whatever you can.
So I would perhaps, like to share again about what Jams has been. So on WhatsApp network, we have separate groups dedicated as per the first child's age. That's one platform. The second platform is where I have separate WhatsApp groups dedicated to the professionals. So we've got trainers, counselors, doctors, lawyers, kids product services, mompreneurs. I've got the food mompreneurs. Then I have separate WhatsApp groups dedicated to the single mothers. I have the separate WhatsApp group dedicated to mothers that have special children, to grandmothers, which is a very, very interactive group again. And our most interactive groups are the book club, the pets club, and the movie clubs. So that's a little bit about the WhatsApp network. The secret Facebook group is where there are lots of mompreneurs. They can self-promote themselves once a week, and in case if there is any question, etc., that can be asked. I keep sharing a lot of tips, yarn, information, a lot of helpful links that the mothers can benefit. So that's part 2 of our network. Part 3 of our network is the offline connectivity that we do via our various complimentary workshops. Like I mentioned earlier, we've done cooking workshops, makeup, grooming workshops, belly dance, how to make eco-friendly Ganesha idols workshop.
The
that
chocolate
was-
ones.
Sorry? Yes, absolutely. And we've done workshops on a lot of parenting. In fact, we're hosting around 4 to 5 workshops in this particular month. So we just did a workshop on influence of art and maths, on children. We did a book club event with a celebrity book writer. We did a cooking workshop. We have 2 workshops coming up on April 17th and April 24th, which are absolutely complimentary. We're also hosting some paid workshops on social media, on how to get fitter, and constantly I keep sharing updates of all these summer activities, summer camps. This is what I've been engaging in, particularly in the last 2 weeks, so that the mothers of various who have children of various ages can participate and engage themselves productively. And of course, our social initiatives, which is a separate, that's like part 4 of Jams, where we do social causes every 6 months, and that's what stands us out. So we've done initiatives which have been called Happy New Hair, iLight, Must Santa, and our upcoming social initiative for this particular month, because we complete 2 years of running, is called Step Up. So if I may encourage, and perhaps we can share the link of Step Up. So if you wish to contribute for a noble cause, and believe you me, every penny of it would go, for the benefit of these particular underprivileged, children. So we'll step up. We'll share the link, so that you can contribute generously on
We'll
that.
share the link at the end of the video.
Absolutely.
And we'll put it up on the page. So if people want to contribute, they can contribute. So in the meanwhile, we have a question, that's from Pallavi saying, how do you manage it all and where do you get the inspiration and energy from?
Well, that's a good question. I'm someone who's very, very social. Materialistic things don't give me any pleasure. So if you give me the latest handbag or the mobile phone or the latest television set or a dress, it won't excite me at all. What I really like is I love people. I'll also share a little background about who I am and what I do. So I've always been a Mumbaikar. And while I was going to school, I joined Shamak's classes. Shamak Dava was a very, very popular Bollywood choreographer and who was my guru. So I joined his classes. I got selected to be part of his troupe. I'm a trained Bharatanatyam dancer. And I was working with him for almost 8 years. I've done Bollywood movies like Dil To Pagal Hai, Tal, done all the possible award functions like Femina, Filmfare, IFA, etc. I've traveled extensively with him in and outside India. So while this was happening in school and in college, the BPO sector was really, really hot. So when I stopped, doing or teaching dancing, I moved on to the call centers, and that's where I was a soft skills trainer and a facilitator. And I moved to Delhi immediately after my marriage. I started dabbling in a little bit of freelance work. I'd also moved to Australia for a little while. And after I came back, I was freelancing for almost 12 to 15 training companies across India. So I'm essentially a soft skills corporate trainer. And I also engage in a lot of freelance mystery shopping. I don't know if you know about that.
Yes, I didn't know mystery shopping was quite present in India because I'm aware about mystery shopping in the UK, but I didn't know about mystery shopping being present in
So
India.
that's the mystery. That's the mystery about it. So mystery shopping is nothing but doing quality audits for various products and services. So I also dabble. It's like an extension of my being a customer service facilitator. When I became pregnant, like I had mentioned earlier, that I wanted to consciously give my first 5 years to my daughter. I just took a backseat and I enjoyed my pregnancy and not standing in queues and getting a lot of pampering and attention. And after I delivered her, I was just with her. So even when I started Jams, it's only because that's a time when she actually goes to her play school, and that's the time I'm online. Otherwise, no. So when she's around me, you'll not see me on my phone at all.
Okay.
I'm so particular about work-life balance, and I think Jams is just an extension of my own personality because it's a very no-nonsense, it's a very practical, it's a very logical and disciplined approach. Usually, when people ask, would you want to choose discipline or indiscipline? I would choose discipline.
Yeah.
I'm somehow very fond of
Following a process.
yeah, following a little bit of a process and a structured platform. Having said that, Jams actually helped me explore something which was unstructured, initially. When we started, it was just like a random, a very casual group of mothers. Yes, we do have a little bit of structure in terms of our interaction timings and in terms of our theme days. But otherwise, we're just taking it each day as it comes. So a lot of people say that, what are you doing about it? You spend so much of time, effort, creativity, leading the whole initiative. But we actually don't have a vision. We don't have a mission. We don't have like a goal setting chalked out for us, or like a tagline. We're just taking it each day, as it comes. Whether it's something that I want to get into full time, I don't really know. But I'm just exploring and having fun and helping others at the moment.
So, coming towards the end and wrapping it up, how do you feel that in the longer run, where do you see jams going? Do you think it will become a more of an offline thing, or it will always stay the online one, which it is with technology changing as well? Now the way we have Facebook Live.
True.
So do you think where do you see jams going in the next year or 2 years? How do you see it shaping up more?
So unfortunately, like I said earlier, we don't really have a mission or a vision, how we see ourselves in the next 2 years or in the next 5 years. But having said that, I think it's going to be a fair balance of being connected online, because at one goal, you can reach out to so many people, and mothers are constantly battling the career and home. So it's a little difficult, for them to come out and interact offline every single time. So the online presence would definitely be there, and of course we'll just try and get better with our offline connectivity, because at the end of the day, that's what really works.
Yes, indeed.
Every time, all my success stories have always been about how they have met offline during a workshop or during a coffee meet or during a lunch meet, and how immensely they have benefited from them. In fact, a little extension to Jams, I'm actually launching a new initiative which is called the Speed Networking Sutra. So we're actually going to get all these women entrepreneurs and mompreneurs to sit in a room with 19 other equally very very talented entrepreneurs, and get help them network. I've got these two wonderful celebrity expert women speakers who would actually share tips and mentor them as to how they'll share the success stories as to how they can make it better. So it's going to be a power packed 2.5 hour session which is happening on 7th of May. So that's called the Speed Networking Sutra. So we formally launched it just yesterday on Gudi Padwa, and
Okay.
we've already got so many registrations in, and yeah, let's hope for the best.
Wow. So I'm looking forward to that event,
Lovely.
definitely. And I'll just start to wrap it up. So basically, thank you very much, Ritu, for spending that 1 hour with us when your daughter is not home.
Yeah.
And we try to stick to the fact that Ritu truly believes in is we don't disturb her time when she needs to be at home and be the mother, because Jams is all about being a mother. So I'm sure, Ritu, you would want to say that be a part of Jams, but also connect and stay connected offline with your own child who's made you that mother.
True.
So social media can act to your benefit, but it's up to you how you decide and where you draw the line to it. So I know there are so many people watching it out there. They'll be advising me later on saying you are always on social media, but that's what I keep telling people, that now my life is run by social media. And to keep a venture going, yes, you need to be, but you also need to draw that fine line and make sure that you have your me time, you have your family time, you have you spend time on yourself, and then you come and spend time with the world which is basically at your feet. Social media has managed to connect us, but it has also managed to become like a blessing and a curse too. So eventually, as we wrap it up, you'd say that it's up to you how you decide to use it, but a lot of people have benefited from it. So try and be on the good side. And Ritu, any last thoughts, any last points you would like to say?
Well, thank you very much. Something that I always believe and promote is work-life balance. So as like Akansha said, as long as you can draw a line, and something I also very strongly endorse is the me time for the mothers. So you may have children, you may have to go to work, you may have to take the house, but just that one day of the week or that one day of the month, spend me time for yourself, where you're just doing something which is which is perhaps pampering you. So whether it's a coffee date with your girlfriends, or going to a nightclub and just dancing alone, or watching a movie, or going to a spa, do that. Reading a book, anything that works. Make sure you also spend your me time, because what's most important is you first, more than anybody else in this whole wide world.
So right, we have one last question, I think, and we will wrap it up. But thank you very much. I think we're not able to see the question yet. We'll get back to you with the question. But thank you very much for everybody who logged in and watched the whole live. Also, we're sorry for the glitch which we had in between. But we promise to come back more with next week, and we will, keep you guys updated with what's happening next week. Very sure the last one is not sure what you're endorsing, but it sounds like fun because you're doing a lot of smiling. So, yeah, I am sure Ritu loves what she does and she smiles a lot, which is very infectious of her because I've realized I've been smiling for the last 1 hour. So, Ritu is infectious and her smile is very infectious. So, thank you very much, Ritu, for spending the hour with us. And at Storify, we like to love to have you on board and keep us inspired and motivated as you always do. So thank you, Ritu. Thanks for being with us today.
Lovely. Pleasure. Pleasure. Thank you. Thank you, all the viewers.
Thank you.